How's everybody doing? Brother Phil here. Want to come on Thursday night like I normally do and um, give you the word of God. so normally I come on Thursdays and and give a message. I'm gonna be uploading a lot of my videos from now on. It seems that I need to do that. Um, I'll be still doing my live streams, but not as much. I'll be doing uploads of videos. Probably let you guys know what day of the week I'll be doing those videos. Um, so from now on, I'll be doing that. I'll pick a day where I'm ready to upload. Long as God is prompting me to do it, I'll upload a video. Anyway, I wanted to come on and talk about a few things. Um, First of all, I want to um, talk about the rapture of the church. I'm going to be covering that, of course. I mean, that's what this channel is about. But I'm also going to be covering the news in the near future. And Ezekiel 33 is the mission of this channel, uh, along with Titus 2:11 to 2:12, will be the channel. So I got three verses that I'm doing, or chapters in the Bible that represent this channel. Also, Philippians 1:6, not only for myself but for others. Um, that those are the key scriptures. Being confident of this one thing, he who has begun a good work in you will perform it into the day of Jesus Christ. God is doing a work in each one of us, and he's going to keep doing it until he comes. So with that being said, first of all, I am going to probably tick some people off by saying that I am going to stick. First of all, I'm going to say that Jesus can definitely come back at any moment. We can be in a position where we don't understand something, but I do believe that when it's all said and done, we will see the day approaching. Now, the unique thing, the funny thing about all of this is I can see the war. I can literally see the war as people like myself. We get positioned where I'm like firm on the Feast of Trumpets, and I won't sway away from anything else. It's hard for me to go and say atonement, and I'll give you the reason for that. Um, it just seems to me that the Feast of Trumpets has all the things that it got that can explain the rapture of the church, especially in Scripture when it talks about in 1 Corinthians 15, 51, and 52. We should not all sleep, but we should be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. The only um, uh, day that has those words is the Feast of Trumpets. Now, so I want to first of all read Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Okay. Um, Matthew's 25. Um, I wanted to read about the versions, 10 versions. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with Matthew 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, um, and I don't think he put that there for a reason. Well, it seems to us that he tarried, but he's coming at a appointed time. They all slumbered and slept. At midnight, there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go out to meet him. Then all those virgins arise and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourself. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterwards came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, and for ye know not neither the day nor the hour where the Son of Man cometh. I butchered that last verse. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. My brain is looking for English language. so, um, so, um, so what I want to talk about, definitely is, they all slumbered and slept. There's going to come a time where everyone's going to be looking for Christ to return, and like just like now, just like last Feast of Trumpets and last Atonement, he did not come. Okay, like a lot of people thought he was going to come. It says the bridegroom tarried; they all slumbered and slept. Okay, there's things that are going on in the world right now that you can do a show by itself on, but we're not doing that tonight. But um, a lot of people are slumbering and sleeping because they thought that something was going to happen in September, but and it might still happen for the rest of this year. But I wanted to look up. I'm going to be walking and chewing gum. So allow me to do something right quick. Um, they don't have. I was looking for a definition of midnight. Um, so I don't see a spiritual definition of midnight either. What is the meaning of midnight? I'm going to say this. I'm going to match it up with First Corinthians 15, 51, and 52. So start First Corinthians 51 and 52. It reads, Behold, I tell you a mystery, we should not all sleep, but we should be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So that twinkling of an eye part is from one day to the next. I want y'all to kind of take a look at that and keep that and think that for a minute. I'm gonna explain something to y'all that I was not going to explain, but since I got so few people watching, I'm going to go ahead and explain something to you guys, and I'll probably keep doing this. Um, so what I want to talk about is the age of the creation. or the age of the mankind for right now after Adam and Eve. And let me take a sip of water. Recorded history says it's 6,000 years. Okay, so 6,000 years. So at midnight would be what? It'll be the 6,000th year. Now, according to Leviticus, every 50 years it's a jubilee. So if you divide it 6,000 by 50, you're going to come up with 120 jubilee years. Now, the last year would be a jubilee year, wouldn't it? I don't know if y'all catching what I'm saying. God told Noah that his spirit would not always strive with man. So it's about the spirit. Okay. So, and Genesis chapter 6, God told Noah that my spirit would not always strive with man, for his time will be 120. So he wasn't talking about 120 years old. He was talking about 120. Now, I covered this the last video, but I'm going to cover it again just to make a point. So a lot of people are out saying, well, we're not in a Jubilee. This is not a Jubilee. Jubilee was in 2017. Well, I'm going to tell y'all this, what I believe. I told y'all a couple months ago, I told my listeners that I believe the rapture of the church will come on a Jubilee year. Now, we are currently in a Jubilee year, but I'm telling you guys, the Jubilee year has to play out. In other words, the Jubilee year has to finish to make it 6,000 years. Exactly. So the rapture of the church will be the closing moments of the 6,000 years. Now, when people say, well, the Jubilee is in 2029, well, the rapture would have to take place in 2029. I'm saying that it's already been recorded that the trumpet blew in 1973. So, and the Jewish people know that the trumpet blew in 1973. Now, if it's an appointed time, then the calendars won't be off. Now, let me explain what I mean. And I don't know why nobody grasped this, but a simple person like me, not too bright. I was just joking. If it's an appointed time, let me read the scripture again. So that's Habakkuk 2. And then I'm going to read Daniel also. It says, for the vision is yet for a appointed time. It's an appointed time. So the calendars will not be off because God wants the Jewish people to see in Habakkuk 2:3 that it's an appointed time. So if you keep hearing these people say the calendars are off, the minute a watch time passes, the calendars are off. They barked this for the last, I don't know how many big watch times. The calendars are off. Well, if the calendars are off, the 144,000 Jews and the two witnesses can't tell the Jewish people that Jesus came the first time on an appointed time. They were able to calculate the number, and that's why you had the wise men looking for Jesus, and that's why you had, well, he was actually 2 years old at the time, but they were looking for Jesus because they did the mathematics. And also, the lady that was in the temple and Zacharias, am I saying this right name? He says, I cannot die until I see the Messiah or see the baby, Jesus. And he saw the baby Jesus, and then, I don't think they actually said he died. I don't know. And that's in the scripture. Anyway, so let me see. Daniel chapter 12, verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white, and try, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And then it says, seal up the books until the time of the end. And then that's when it says, knowledge will, people will go to and fro, and knowledge will increase. Um, so the books will be sealed into the time of the end. So we won't understand fully everything. And we have these watch times. We had one in 2015, we had one in 2017, and we have one in 2022, and so forth and so on. And we hopefully this is it, and we don't have to wait in much longer, but it's worth the wait, right? Um, so where am I going? So 6,000 years. So the Shemitah cycles still count, but you have to finish the last Jubilee year to get 6,000 years exactly. So so Peter said a day. So Peter and I hit the wrong button. So Peter, where is it at? Where's the scriptures? So Peter says in 2 Peter 3:8, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. Okay, so God is trying to tell us something there. God is trying to tell us that God is doing 1,000-year count. So the Shemitah cycle still counts. 5,999 divided by 7 is 7. It comes out evenly. And also this year coming up, if you divide it by 49, it comes out evenly. So it is a Jubilee year. We thought that he comes at the beginning of a Jubilee year. So it might turn out that he comes at the end of a Jubilee year. And the Shemitah cycles continue on after that. Now, let me explain this. What the Shemitah cycles does is the Shemitah cycle, or the 7 years of the Antichrist, will be connected to the 1,000-year reign of Jesus Christ. That's why it says the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is a 1,000-year period. It says the day of the Lord should come as a thief in the night. So that's the rapture of the church. And the day of the Lord will come. The Bible also says the day of the Lord will come as fire, smoke, all kinds of judgment, because it's the tribulation period that will start the day of the Lord. So I'm not the best person to explain this. I was trying to get a friend to explain it, but I'm not. This is really simple. There's 6,000 years in history, and after that, the rapture will happen to end the 6,000 years. My spirit will not always strive with man, for his time will be 120 Jubilee cycles. That's 6,000 years. When he gets ready to take his spirit out, it'll be the end of the 6,000 years. So you need the last Shemitah. You need the last Jubilee year. You need the Jubilee year is the last year on the 6,000 years. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like I said, I'm not the best person to explain it, but yeah. So that's where we're at. It's a possibility. I'm not saying this is a fact. Well, I mean, we've already learned our lesson on assuming that it's going to happen. A lot of things are ramping up. Yeah, you are correct on that. Things are ramping up, but I've also seen things slow down or ramp up, and it takes a whole year to fully ramp up. I've seen that happen too. I'm not making any predictions or prophecies or anything like that. I'm just saying that it might be more simpler than we think. It might be the case that he's going off a 7,000-year plan, and then eternity starts. So the tribulation is part of the 1,000-year period of the day of the Lord, and then the 6,000 years is cut off at the rapture of the church or the age of grace. So the generation of men is 6,000 years. So this generation shall not pass. The generation that will see all the things that happen in Matthew 24 will not pass. And the generation who have seen Israel become a nation and other nations rise up to power will not pass either until all these things be fulfilled. So, like I said before, the devil's out in full force, and you have to be careful. I'm a feast of, like I said before, I've always been a Feast of Trumpets person. I shouldn't get XX. I should kind of maintain my distance, and when the Feast of Trumpets comes around, and just say this is a high watch time, because I believe that the Feast of Trumpets is it. That's why I struggle when after the Feast of Trumpets, is because it's a hard thing for me to to have to wait to convince somebody that you have to wait another Feast of Trumpets. It wasn't that I froze up, and it's, to me, it's not a prophecy. I mean, they've been doing Feast of Trumpets for 4,000 years. They've been doing Feast of Trumpets for ages. So it's the Jewish people know that it's the day of the Messiah, it's the coronation of the King, it's the resurrection of the dead. They know this themselves. Um, and God did give us a taste of the moon being sighted late, and He's probably going to do it again. I mean, I don't know for sure, but He might do it again next Feast of Trumpets if the Lord wills and time tarries. To see, that we are all fortunate enough to be alive in these last moments of time. But anyway, so we are definitely in the last moments of time, and we just have to hold on, for Christ to return, especially in the United States. United States is turning its back on Israel, and you see the things that are happening in Israel, even with this gas um, uh, deal out in Lebanon, with Lebanon. I mean, all this stuff is just boiling over, ready to go. You don't know when it's going to kick, but I believe we're going to see a lot of things in the next 12 months. And I think we're going to see a lot of things in the next, just probably even before Christmas. There are going to be things that are happening. You're just going to have to hang in there. We're just going to have to hang in there and have each other's back, and be praying for each other, and be praying that your fellow Christians that especially online, give them strength to make it, to this, until the times that that been written about in Bible prophecy, because it's gonna get hard, it's gonna get scary, it's gonna get anxiety. A lot of people are gonna have anxiety. CNN said we're all gonna have anxiety. It's probably because we're sick and tired of watching CNN in this crazy world that you're part of. Um, you know, um, yeah, we have to endure to the end. And I hear a lot of people say, "Well, I'm ready to go home now," especially in the United States. We are not fully collapsed yet. And like I said before, like the sister uh, says, buckle up. Buckle up, and he who endures to the end will be saved. You have to endure to the end. You have to wait on the Lord. The Lord will renew your strength, and He'll give you power to mount up uh, like eagles. He's going to be here with you through this, perilous times. Because I do believe that we are in the perilous times. Um, but we are definitely out to evangelize and give the warnings to the rest of the world and give it to our families and friends and coworkers and associates that the time is short. Don't be hesitant, to warn them. You got time, um, and the time is it's not on our side, but yes, the Father will lead us to to uh, let our family and friends know that the time is short. Like I said before, I'm going to be doing most of uh, uploading. As you can see, I don't. I think a lot of people are taking a break from online. I see that happening too. A lot of people got discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Just look at it this way: that you know, it's going to be well worth the wait. It's going to be well worth the wait. You're gonna be so blessed and happy and joyful that you waited, for the Lord's return. And he's going to give a special reward to those who are looking for his coming or anticipating his coming. Don't turn your back right now. Don't look back like Lot's wife. Look forward. Be set on flint. Jesus set himself on flint. That means he set his eyes on the cross to die for the sins of man. We can do the same for him. Set our minds on Christ. Set our minds on heaven, on earthly things right now is not worth it. Set your affections on things above, not on things on earth. That is going to be destroyed. Anyway, um, we see it happening. We see some of our Christian people who are just have no clue. They're well respected. Um, this one guy, he's a rapper. He called himself a rapper, and he's talking about what is his name, Kurt Franklin. Because I don't mention nobody on this show too much, but I will mention him. He's talking about that the sheep, the lamb, the lion and the lamb is going to bow down to the goat, which you know who the goat represent, right? Represents Satan. And then he calls himself a Christian rapper or whatever. No, he's not. You know, and like Lecrae, I don't know if y'all know who Lecrae is. Lecrae has been struggling to go to the other side for a long time. But if you watch these guys really closely, they got the demonic handshakes. They got all you can see them. You can just look at them. Look at TD Jakes. Look at the thing, the ceremony he handed his to his daughter, his ministry. Women there are loosed, and he looked like he touched her and she just went on the ground slain in the spirit. I guess that's what you call it. um I don't know what that was supposed to be about. um yeah, yeah, things are close to getting bad. But if I was you, and if I was me, it depends on when God's coming back. I guess I'm selfish when I say that, but I don't want things to get too bad before Christians is looking out. But the thing is, things are bad everywhere in the rest of the world, and I'm looking at it from a Western viewpoint. But if you go to Africa right now, I mean, if you go to if you go to Australia, if you go to the definitely the European Union, things are definitely bad. But you go to third world country in Africa, people are suffering. You go to Bangladesh or Mongolia, people are poor. Those are poor countries, so people are already um, suffering as well. So when a lot of people say, "Well, I want to go home because it's bad," it's not even bad yet in the United States. It's not even. I mean, it's bad. People are losing their jobs, but that you can go back to a couple of decades ago, and people were losing their jobs in the 1970s. So I'm not trying to bust your bubble, but it's not that bad yet in the United States. I don't know what God is waiting for, and I'm not trying to get him to punish the United States, especially when believers are here. So these people out here, I read these Facebook posts of people saying, "Oh, these Christians think they're going to escape, and they want to get out of here. But I got news for you. That's a false prophecy. The pre-trib rapture is a false prophecy." While Jesus says, pray that you can escape the things that are coming upon the earth. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. What Bible are you reading? What Bible are you reading? Jesus is the one saying, pray that you can escape. Be ready for an hour that you think not. You think if the tribulation period with 21 judgments and more than half the population of the world, you think we won't think not? You think we won't know? We're going to know. Jesus says, at an hour that you think not, well, the most of the people think not, the Son of Man will come. After the worst time in human history, you're going to tell me Jesus said if he didn't come, that the time was not cut short, the elect wouldn't even make it. He said no flesh would make it. So you tell me how he going to come at an hour that we think not. So I behoove you guys to take it seriously what Jesus is saying. Listen to what Jesus is saying. Stop listening to the false prophets. I don't know where that choke come from. I started choking for no reason. It says, it was not God. Beware of false prophets. So we have to think about that kind of stuff, man. We have to think about that. Who people don't want you to believe in a rapture. They think it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or some hocus pocus thing. But our God is a mighty God. He can do anything. What makes you think he can't do that? Because I mean, if he can raise the dead, he can do that. I mean, I don't think people understand how great God is. Jesus said, in my Father's house there are many mansions. If it was not so, I wouldn't have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. There I am, you will be also. That's a one-time event that happens simultaneously, and millions of people vanish at the same time. Even the world's preparing for it with the UFO stuff. They're even saying that there's going to be a replenishing of the world, and it's got to get rid of its schisms. Unfortunately, the schisms is Christians. Technically, the Christians who is what keeping this world together, and they don't see it that way. And just like Noah, when God told Noah that his spirit will not always strive with man for his time to be 120 Jubilee cycles, he told you when the rapture is going to happen, but it has to happen at the end of a Jubilee year. The Jubilee year is the last year on the 6,000 years. Do y'all know what I'm saying? Is anybody confused? It's not that. I mean, I'm saying I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but it's not that difficult. I'm not saying this is gonna happen. I'm just saying if you really think about it, 6,000 years would be the last. If it's 120 Jubilee cycles of 50 years, the last year is a Jubilee year, right? So the Jubilee would have to finish, then the speed of cycle can start again at the 1,000-year period. So the next 1,000-year period begins with the rapture of the church, and but it has to be Feast of Trumpets, because that's when the year is going to end. So I'm not making no prediction either. I'm not saying nothing. Get out of it. I'll probably stay away from doing any type of predictions for a long time. But when it comes to Feast of Trumpets, I'm going to tell y'all next Feast of Trumpets, if we get to that point, I'm going to tell y'all, do not underestimate it this time. Because I know that's what's going to happen. I can tell you what's going to happen. People are going to say, oh, I've been waiting. This one person said that they went to the cemetery and waited for their parents or something to be raptured a couple of years ago on the Feast of Trumpets. But just because that happened, the Feast of Trumpets the rapture didn't happen at that time. Oh, they're against the Feast of Trumpets. How does that work? Well, anyway, Feast of Trumpets to me, I'm gonna let y'all lay it down. I'm believe this the Feast of Trumpets. So boom. So I'm saying whatever. I don't know what year it is, but I believe it's the Feast of Trumpets. Unfortunately, that means that we have to stick around for another couple of months. But this is something I said on a video previously, that if we love the Lord, we wait for the Lord. That's why it says, you have kept the words of my patience. You kept the words in patience. That's Revelations 3:10. You have kept the words of my patience. You were patiently waiting for me when I came, and you kept the words. You did not deny my name. And that's I mean, there's a lot of clues that I mean, it may be that the Jubilee year, when we get to heaven, we will learn that it was designed just like Matthew's 25. They all slumbered and slept, and at midnight, the midnight is the last part of the day, which is the 6,000th year or the 6,000th millennial. The last day is midnight. I mean, you can't get no more midnight than that. At midnight, they all slumbered and slept. And then the cry went out, go out to meet him. Maybe that was the cry just recently on Feast of Trumpets and on Atonement. And then there's one more year, and then he raptures the church out. Because I know what would happen. We knew this years ago, where, there was a lot of times where people get emotionally attached. And like I said on another video, if you don't, you need to check your climate of your relationship with Christ. Because that's why he says in Matthew 25, I don't know you. I don't know you because you don't even know the times. It says in Isaiah, I believe chapter 8, it says that the cockatiel knows its time and the turtle, but my people don't know jack. They don't know nothing. They don't know the time. It's an appointed time. It's a time. Do you want to see your Lord? You want to see God. You want to be in heaven. You want to walk the streets of gold. You want to sit down at the table at the marriage supper of the Lamb. You want to see your Lord Jesus Christ. Yep. You have to be strong. You have to be patient. I know it's hard, but if you think about, I know that people don't want to hear this, but if you think about the disciples and apostles of what they went through and how their life ended, think about Jesus and how his life ended. Of course, he was resurrected. If you think about the prophets and them dying for their, faith, at least we can do is wait for the Lord to come. He is going to come. He's not going to delay it. Eventually, he's going to come. And I think what's going to happen is he's going to catch a lot of people off guard. He's even going to catch us off guard who is watching, because we're not numb for all these watch times. We got our, like CNN says, we got our feelings hurt. I'm just joking. We got our feelings hurt, and one of these years we're going to be like, yeah, he's coming, but I don't know. Yeah, okay. And he's going to surprise the heck out of us. We're going to be like, wow, I wasn't expecting him to come back. I mean, I really wasn't. I mean, I was expecting him. I was looking for him. I wanted him to come, but it's been like 4 or 5 major watch times where I was just, and I was just took off balance that he came. And, people are going to be so blessed, man, that they waited. But then there's going to be some people who turn and go back to the world, or there's going to be some people who still looking for post-trib, mid-trib. And there's going to be some people who were, this might even be the biggest loss from this last watch time, we just don't know it yet, that the biggest loss from people who were pre-trib and all of a sudden they become post-trib, mid-trib, or pre-wrath or whatever. So it says many will die for their witnessing to others and their faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah, after the church is gone, after the true believers are gone, the people from the real church is going to have to go underground, and they're going to find that out the hard way, because I think they're still going to function as a church. And when they find out that it's going to be against the law to say this, against the law to say that, you can be arrested for saying this, you can be arrested for saying that. I think the Antichrist is going to eventually start taking over these churches, and the message in the Antichrist government will invade these churches, and they would have to appease, probably have to read from a script. They can't no longer read from the Bible, stuff like that. And a lot of these pastors are going to go underground. A lot of the members are going to go underground, and that's it. It's not going to. And you're going to reflect on the times where people like myself came up to a pastor and said, "Hey, have you ever thought about the end times?" It's like, no, not really. It's just like, oh, okay, it's that simple. Anyway, let me talk about the ministry before I get out of here. Like I said before, I'm going to be uploading videos, probably about 15 minutes, 5-minute in increments, a little bit longer, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And I'll do some live videos. As you can see, I've probably lost a lot of people, a lot of momentum, because of this last watch time. But I'll be doing live videos probably every maybe Thursday, maybe Sunday. It might be Thursday. I don't know. And then I will be doing a lot of talking head or talking screen where you don't see my face, and I'll be doing the news and stuff, because if Ezekiel 33 talks about warning people of the sword that's coming. I just don't want to become a news channel. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to become a news channel. A lot of these channels are just news channels. You know, and I'm not trying to talk bad at somebody. I tell you, this is the first time you ever hear me mention somebody's name. I probably start mentioning people's names because some of this stuff needs to be brought to light. But there are other channels that are doing that as well. So you really don't need mine to be bashing people upside the head. But I might start kind of exposing some people, because you have to have that. You have to know that. As far as the sword is concerned, sword comes in many forms. It could be starvation. It could be food crisis, a water crisis, weather, um, you know, assassination of a leader. I mean, just people's morality in the streets, all kinds of stuff that you can warn people of the sword that's coming, especially when China or Russia or another third world country is trying to invade Israel, invade us, United States of America. United States of America is not in Bible prophecy. People think it's Babylon and all this other stuff. I don't know where they get that from. We have no history besides 250 years. We have no history. So it's not Babylon. The only way we know Gog and Magog is because you can go back and check the ancestry of Russia, and you know that it's a nation that's in, far north, and you can see that a lot of the scholars like Josephus, and, a lot of the scholars appointed Russia as Gog, Magog, and the leader will be Gog. And then Persia is Iran, and Turkey, Tagarma is Turkey. So you already know that the history says it. Even Tarshish the merchants of Tarshish is Britain, and its cubs are the United States, Australia, Canada, uh, places like that. So we already know that by history. You know, they say England used to be the place where the sun never sets. That's because they owned, you know, people. They even influenced Israel. They even took Israel from the actually they took it from the Bolshevik Empire. They took it back and then they gave it to Israel. So maybe that's why the Queen was so successful, and her family was so successful because they favored Israel back in the day. So I don't know for sure. Anyway, God bless you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm actually gonna cut this program short. God bless you guys. Like I said before, I'll be changing. I'm not even messing with my tags or anything, and I really don't care about the titles of the videos or anything. But I'm gonna start caring and start kind of be strategic about how I label the videos and stuff like that, and the tags, and also the thumbnails. I'm gonna start not using my pretty face on the thumbnails. I'm gonna use whatever I have to, that, you know, for that week's show. Anyway, we're gonna get real busy on this channel. So I might. This is what I'm thinking about doing for a while. It's probably about a couple of months. I'm going to shut down the comments, not as far as the show is concerned, but as far as um, the um, the channel. So you won't be able to say anything about any videos that I do because it's probably gonna be controversial. So just please understand that's the reason why I'm doing it. Because I need some momentum. We need some momentum, and every time I do a program, then I have to answer questions and answer things, and it slows down the momentum of the channel. So probably I won't probably I probably it just depends. I'll pray to the Lord and ask, but I probably shut it down starting November 1st, and then probably for the rest of the year keep it down until further notice. I don't know. I know that's what God's leading me to because He wants me to gain some momentum. Because a lot of times, you know, having these long shows and stuff like that, that's another problem. Um, you know, at least I can have live shows and then have smaller videos because people don't have it. They don't have all the time and a whole hour to sit here and listen to somebody ramble on. Anyway, God bless you guys. Have a great, wonderful night. Uh, and just God bless you. Hope you have a blessed night, wonderful night. Thank you. Thank you very much. You too, and I want everybody else to have a blessed night. I'll see you guys Sunday. I will do a video on Sunday, a longer video still. Anyway, God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night. See y'all later.